trading again with Pocketoption, and over here I have something very important to show you guys. Over here we're using our three indicator. The first indicator we're using is moving average. The second one is super trend, where the last indicator I use is MACD. All right. This strategy actually worked very powerful with OTC and at the same time with real market. So I'm going to trade them all together. I'm going to trade OTC and real market at the same time, right? And it's actually a 1 minute trade time strategy, and I actually use a 1 minute candle time frame as well, and any key Ashi candlestick. So that's pretty much all you have to do. So over here, this is the setup of each of the indicator. On the moving average, I use it as 90 as a period of 90. All right, the moving average right here is SMA. On the start part here, I make sure I use the white color, and of course I take my line to be on 2 pixel. So that's it. So when you're done, you hit save. So the second indicator is a super trend, all right, with what's it called, at period of 5. The multiplier is 2. On the start part here, make sure I take my line to be on 2 pixel. All right, so that's pretty much all you have to do. So when you're done, you hit save. So the last indicator is MACD with a fast period of 10. The slow period is 22. While the signal period is 9. On the start part here, make sure I take the MACD line here to be on 2 pixel, and the same thing on the signal what's it called line here to be on 2 pixel. So when you're done, you hit save. So like I said earlier on, I'll be trading this strategy both with OTC and a real market. All right, so it actually works with OTC and real market, and it's a very powerful strategy, guys. It's a very powerful one, and I'm going to explain in details how it works. So the number one thing we always need to look out before we enter a trade is very simple. So for example, if you're going for a down trade, you need to have a signal of your lower signal here with our super trend indicator. You need to have that, and after that, make sure the candlestick you're placing your trade on is actually below the moving average. All right, so you need to have it below the moving average, and it must be a very stable trend. All right, so make sure you have your MACD both line here intersect each other above the signal bar here. All right, you need to have it in a very strong overbought position. The both line is to intersect each other, giving you a down confirmation before you enter a trade. So after you confirm all the indicator in the downtrend position, then you can actually go ahead and enter a trade. All right, so if you're going for an up trade, you need to have your super trend indicator to signal you a higher what's it called signal, just like what happened here. Make sure you receive a higher signal with your super trend. Make sure you have your candlestick above the moving average. All right, and of course your both MACD line is to be below the MACD signal bar here. The both line is to intersect each other, and the both line is to be giving you an uptrend confirmation before you enter a trade. All right, so that's just how it works. So right now I'll be analyzing the market, guys. All right, so when I get a good moment, I'm going to come down. As you can see, we actually receive a signal right here for a lower trend, but when you check, you see that this candlestick is not below the moving average yet. Like I just said, always make sure that before you place a trade, confirm the candlestick to be below this moving average. All right, the trend must be below it coming down before you enter a trade. Is very important. So if you say that the candlestick actually reverse, do not enter the trade. All right, but don't worry, I'll be showing you all of these when I enter a trade. I'm analyzing now. So when I get a good moment, I'm going to come down and enter a trade. All right. Okay guys, over here I'm finding a good moment. I'm going to enter this trade real quick. So as you can see, guys, over here we receive a signal with our super trend, and you can see that I make sure that the candlestick I place my trade on is actually below the moving average. All right, it's very important. And also make sure that you're having a very strong trend. As you can see that the candlestick right here is a very strong one, so it's very easy for me to predict what's it called, the outcome of the candle. So over here too, with our MACD, the intersection happened right here, and you can see the both line has been coming down ever since then. So this is actually a perfect moment. So that's the reason why I place the trade. So guys, always make sure that you're having the candlestick below the moving average. All right, so do not enter a trade when the candlestick is not below the moving average. So always make sure that you're having it below the moving average. Make sure that you confirm your MACD. All right, the both line must intersect, and they must be giving you a downtrend as well. And of course, you must receive a signal with your super trend. It's very important. All right, a good one there, guys. We've been doing that. That's actually a perfect one. Keep analyzing. Alright guys, this is another perfect moment. I'm going to enter this trade real quick. So as you can see right here, we have a very strong confirmation right here. And not only that, you can see that the trend is very powerful. Alright, it's very stable and it was very powerful. So right here, we have our MACD intersect from this position. And ever since then, we'll be having a very strong uptrend right there. So that's the reason why I enter the trade. Alright. Another thing is to make sure that you have the candlestick above the moving average, like I do say. So make sure it happens before you enter a trade. So guys, let's wait and see. This is going to be a good one. Alright guys, we have less than 2 seconds. Alright, a good one here guys. We're in the money on that. That's actually a perfect one. As you can see, I actually start this balance with just $140. So right now I'm on 290. So I want to see if it actually increases balance to like 1,000 in this video. Keep analyzing guys. So when I get a good one, I'm going to come down and take a trade. Alright guys, over here I found a moment. I'm going to enter a trade on this real quick. As you can see right here, this candlestick is actually below the moving average. The intersection of our MACD actually occurred here. And you can see that the boat line has been coming down ever since then. Alright, so we actually received our super trend signal right there. This is actually a perfect moment. And the reason why I actually place the trade is the fact that if you check the last, I think of 5 candlesticks, you can see that they are very stable, coming down in the trend. I had to wait to make sure that I confirm this candlestick below the moving average before I enter a trade. So I already know that this trend is going to be very strong. So that's the reason why I place the trade. Another thing is that everything is not all about our indicator. Sometimes you need to study the candlestick, right? So that's the reason why I keep telling you guys that you should understand how to read your candlestick. All right. So it's very important guys, to saving the money on that. So you always need to understand how to read candlestick. You need to understand when the candlestick are not strong and when they are strong. For example, over here, this is actually a very bad candlestick. You see that there's a lot of dodgy candlestick in this position, but when it comes to this particular one here, the last few candlestick that is coming down, it is a very strong one, and that is the only way you see the signal indicate. You see right here, that is the only one this signal indicates. So it's very powerful that you always have the what's it called, the indication of your super trend before you enter a trade. And not only that, make sure the candlestick you're placing your trade on is a very strong one. It's actually below the moving average. All right, and if you actually wanted to check your moving average, you need to check right from day one. You see that the moving average has been coming down on a downtrend. You can see that the moving average is actually coming down. All right, so that's all you have to look at before you enter a trade. A good one there guys. Keep analyzing. So when I get another good moment, I'll come down and take a trade. Alright guys, over here I'm having a good moment. I'm going to enter this trade real quick. As you can see right here, we have our signal right there with our super trend, and you can see that it's actually a very powerful trend right here in this position. You see that the candlestick is very strong, and not only that, our MACD actually intersect right from this position, and the boat line is giving us an uptrend confirmation. So that's the reason why I placed that trade. Okay, so guys, let's wait and see if this is going to be a good one. We have like 33 seconds to close the trade. So let's wait and see if this is going to be a good one in the next few seconds. All right. All right, guys, a good one here, guys. We're in the money on that. So that's actually a good one right there. Keep analyzing. Alright guys, over here I'm finding a good moment. I'm going to enter a trade on this real quick. As you can see right here, we receive our signal there with our super trend. And not only that, you see that the candlestick is actually below the moving average. And when you actually check the moving average, you see that the moving average is actually even giving us a downtrend confirmation as well. The same thing applicable with our MACD. The boat line actually intersect in a very strong overbought position, and the boat line are actually coming down in the trend. So that's the reason why I placed this trade. All right, so we have like 30 seconds left, guys. So let's wait and see if this is going to be a good one in the next few seconds. All right, guys, we have like 2 seconds left right now. A good one here, guys. We're in the money on that. This is actually a perfect one, guys. It's been a good one so far. Keep analyzing. All right. Okay, guys, over here I'm going to enter this trade real quick. All right, as you can see right here, we actually receive a signal with our super trend right there. All right, you can see that the few candlestick has been stable, and over here, the last candlestick I placed my trade here was actually above the moving average. I make sure it's actually above it, and of course, our MACD signal here actually intersecting a very strong oversold position, and the bot line is actually giving me an uptrend confirmation. All right, so that's the reason why I play the trade. So guys, always make sure that you you follow all the rules in this video. It's very important that you follow all of them so that you can actually find a very perfect entry. All right, it's very important. Always make sure that the candlestick you're placing your trade on is a very stable one. All right, confirm that with your super trend. Make sure that either is above the moving average if you're going for an up trade, or below it if you're going for a down trade. All right, it's very important, guys. And of course, the same thing applicable with your MACD. All right. Everyone here, guys, we're in the money on that. So as you can see right here, my balance is now $1,128 for my $140. All right, this is actually a perfect moment, and this is where I'm going to stop on today's video. So guys, this is how you trade with this strategy. So I want you guys to actually try this at your own end and let me know in the comment section what you think about the strategy. It's a very powerful one. All right, if you follow all the rules. The only reason why this strategy is not going to work is